Okay, this is going to be a shortened video because I'm not going to show you the process of teardown and getting here. That'd be way too long, and I hate those videos when people do that crap. So, getting to the point. Instrument cluster, 99 Dodge Grand Caravan, was not working. None of the gauges. Check engine and ABS light were on. Looking online at tons of forums and stuff, everybody says take the gauge cluster out, solder the back end of it, it fixes the problem. I have another gauge cluster in here that I did that too, it didn't work, so I thought bad cluster. Got another cluster, same thing, did not work. I had another issue where I had to come down and water had been getting in through the cowl outside, pine needles and stuff, had backed it up, water was overflowing the canal there and sending it down into the blower box. So I'd had to get down here and do unlift this and get all the pine needles and the water out of there. Now, in there, right there, is the motor that moves the blend door for your heater. So as you turn your dial switch here from face and floor, etc., that door moves. So as I'm cleaning it, I needed to get pine needles out of there. I wanted the flapper door to move. So I came up here and hit this. Nothing. Just stayed blowing out the vents up here. That's all the heat you could get. Blower motor worked fine, it got high speed. So, I neglected to say, with the instrument gauge cluster not working, the rear wiper motor was not working as well. And I'd seen posts about people saying that both of them went out at the same time. So now I'm of the mind that the floor face defrost controls, the AC, and the rear wiper motor weren't working. So I pulled this off, came back here, and unplugged the connector. Found a little bit of a sign of heat having got into the plastic connector there. Some of the plastic connectors molding was melted. Now, when I unplugged that and put the key in, all of a sudden all the instrument cluster worked. All the digital display, the fuel gauge went up, so I started it up, RPMs went up, left it running here in the garage so I couldn't see if the speedo worked, but the check engine ABS light was on. All that was all fixed now as soon as I unplugged this right here that controls all these controls. So I thought, okay, plugged it back in, started it again, everything worked for a minute, and then as soon as I would hit a button, like the rear wiper motor or AC, everything down here would go back to being out again. Now, I know this sounds really long, and some of these bastards that talk forever, it pisses me off on videos. I'm just trying to cover my bases because online a ton of people are having problems with this. So, unplugged this and plugged it back in and look at online. There's a reset procedure for when this goes out. You hold down this button, the bottom one, and the top one on the far left. Hold them both down together with the key on. It doesn't have to be running. You just put the key in the ignition, turn it on. Dash lights and stuff will come on. Hold that one, hold that one. Hold them down, and eventually the AC, where the snowflake is, it will start flashing a little LED indicator light there. As soon as it starts flashing, you let go of those two. And then all these things have a little LED light on them. You can see a little circle. They will flash in sequence. They look like fucking R2-D2 from Star Wars. They keep on flashing through a sequence, and you will hear the rear wiper motor all of a sudden starting to calibrate and work. And then as you start messing with this over here, go from defrost to all that, you don't actually have to turn the knob, but you'll just listen. You'll hear that blend door moving, and you'll hear heat going from here, transferring it up to defrost, then you'll hear it go to the floor. You're just sitting here not touching anything after you've held those buttons in and let the lights start doing. You let go. All this does, it's on its own. It's all recalibrating. So now I got to the point where it gets done calibrating and everything's done. You hit the top left button after all the lights have stopped flashing. Hit this one time, turn the car on. All the gauges up here were working. Go down, hit the AC, it works. Use the dial indicator to switch your vent controls. It worked everywhere. It goes to defrost, floor, face, everything. Hit the rear wiper motor. Rear wiper motor is working. Everything is working now. Just by unplugging this, putting it back in, and doing the calibration relearn, I gained all of these components right here back, and I gained all the components up there, and they're all working in unison and working together now. So this has been a brain scratcher online for a lot of people. So it's worth a shot. If you ever try to solder those joints on the back and it does not work, move on to what I just did and see if it works for you.